Brizz has started.
Well, hi there. This is your host, Dr. Deb Carlin, ready and eager to introduce you to my very dear friend, client, business associate. He's all kinds of things to me, Brian Keith Wolishin. Hi, Brian. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Well, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good too. All things considered, we're blessed to be here for the day, right? For the moment.
I'm always good. I'm always blessed.
You- So let me just tell you, friends, here's the deal for this interview today. I think I've got some of the most fascinating people in my life, and Brian is one of them. I met him is sort of through social media and some sort of raucous business that I got involved in for a while. But it was in that business that I really learned what this man's journey was. And so, Brian, where are you from? I want to kind of give people the background on you so they understand this rowdy, unique, resilient character that I'm so nuts about here,
So,
admiring
so I
of.
was, so I was born in Brooklyn and I grew up on Long Island, pretty much New York.
Yeah, he's a New Yorker. And where do you reside now?
Boca Raton, Florida. I
Yeah,
moved here in 2013.
it's a while.
I think about that. Was it 2013? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, it's been a while though. You didn't just move in yesterday.
No,
And you live there with your darling, charming wife and your awesome dog,
correct.
and you have a good life, and you are an entrepreneur. So you've always
Yeah.
got business going in the background, in the forefront, no matter what's going on.
Yes.
And you're also a musician, so we can see some of your guitars hanging up there. And you're
Yeah,
really a rock and roll guitarist, right?
I am.
Yeah,
Rock and roll,
amazing.
blues, rock and roll. So that kind of like,
Yeah. And I've been impressed to watch you do your music. I've seen you on video and it's been really fun. And one of the things that's really interesting about you, in addition to your sort of intellectual curiosity and your sense of humor and your character, is also the journey that you've been on regarding your health. And one of the reasons that we're here right now is to share with our audience some information that ties directly to the work that I do, which is about teaching people what to do with their mind in order to influence their health, not just their mental health, but their physical health and their social relationships and their emotional well-being. And right now we're sitting here because you are facing a transplant, but not just any transplant. You're facing a heart transplant, but not just any heart transplant. You're going to have your second heart transplant. The first one took place about 6 years ago.
took
And
place
this,
in 2000 actually, this would be I just had my seventh year, actually, 2018. So now, yeah, it was 2018 in October.
okay. Oh, okay.
Um,
And it's not this time, it's not just a heart transplant, but you're having also a kidney transplant as
Heart
well.
and kidney. Hmm.
So going through your transplant on round one, how did you ready yourself for that? I mean, what was going on that you discovered it and then all that took place?
So what happened to me, the way I discovered it, I used to play a lot of basketball and stuff. And I was playing full club basketball, and all of a sudden I was just like, man, I feel like I'm going to pass out. I don't know what's going on here.
Ah,
I went to the doctor. He did a stress test, and he goes, man, your heart's only working at 30%. And that's when it all started. And I found out that it came from a virus, and I had a viral cardiomyopathy, and that was back like around 1998, around there, around
mm,
1998. And then, they're saying, I might need a heart transplant somewhere around there. But I wound up going all through the 2000s, all the way up to 2018. They don't even know how I did it. Like I kept on saying, I'm going to keep going without it. And they made it all the way as far as I did. Just I think on my own mind and spirit making me go push myself, you know, without, getting one till finally when it just just gave in, and I had no choice.
So you knew that you were in trouble, but you wanted to keep fighting, keep going. Come on, let's make it
Right,
happen. Just do it, which I consider to be part of your stamina, your strength, your character, and that New Yorker in you that says, "Get out of my way. I'm
right.
coming."
I was actually in the hospital waiting for a heart, and I was walking around the hospital. And I was actually having contests with the nurses to see who could do more steps in the day, and I was out doing them in the hospital with a pole, walking around the hospital doing 12,000 steps a day, waiting for a heart.
Oh my gosh. And they put you in the hospital because that's a normal part of the protocol. They want you there ready for when it
They want me
happens.
there waiting, and at that point, they were stating me that I was too sick to even be out of the hospital.
Ah, okay. So you went through that transplant, and what is it that you want to share about the experience of going through that?
Well, it's kind of crazy. I had things going. I mean, I had a defibrillator in my chest, and I had things happen to me at the point when I went for the transplant. I could feel things happening. Like I was getting like ventricular tachycardia like every day,
Ah,
and that's dangerous arrhythmias where you can
yes,
die.
yes.
So the last fatal one that almost killed me. I was sitting at my desk working, and I felt one coming on, and I started screaming to my wife. I go, "I think I'm going down," and all of a sudden she found me on the floor with my head cracked open, bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I had to get like 10 stitches in my head. You know, the ambulance came and they took me, and I had to get stitches in my head, and then they had to fly me to Tampa, from here to Tampa, and they had me wait in the hospital to get the heart at that point.
Okay. I actually had not heard that part of the story before. So that was how the urgency came about to get you in the hospital.
Right,
And you were 4 hours away from Tampa.
right.
And
They
you
came,
were you were
they actually
going,
came, they actually came. I was in West Boca Medical Center here. When they came, they had to sew my head up. Then they had to come and take me. They took me by ambulance, actually, 4 hours away by ambulance
I
to
can see
Tampa.
why they wouldn't want to put you on an airplane.
Right.
Yeah.
So it took me 4 hours away by ambulance to Tampa, and then I had to wait there,
And what facility were you at in there?
Tampa General Hospital.
Okay. So you're in the hospital, you're recovering from a head injury.
Yep.
You're wanting to be in good physical condition, so you're competing with the nurses on how many steps.
Right.
Didn't they try to restrain you to the bed?
No, they, well, they tried to make me like stay on the floor, but they would lose track of me. I would walk around the hospital, go to different floors. They didn't know where I was. They were like, "Where is he?"
The Wandering. Well, you have a nickname, the Brizz Man.
That's me.
And where did that come from?
That actually came from my best friend Eugene. Gave me that name back when we were kids.
And he just labeled you the Brizz Man because you're
But
unique and unbelievable.
that's it.
The Brizz Man. Yeah, I've come to know the imagery of the Brizz Man because how you got through that surgery, when you told me some of that, as people are sort of on the staff gathering around you, taking you into surgery, and oh, are you okay? Are you ready? Don't be scared. What was and I want you to feel free to be as graphic with your language as you'd shared with me. What was your reaction as everybody's trying to pet you and soothe you and baby you? What did you
I
say?
just said, I just said, "Don't do that, man. I'm the fucking Brizz man. Nothing's gonna happen to me, man. I'm the Brizz man.
You
Nothing
also
happens
said
to me.
things like, shut up, nobody can kill the Brizz man,
Right?
and
Nobody can kill
just
the
get
Brizz
me
man.
in there, crack me open, and get it done.
That's what I said. Just wheel me in. I'm ready to go. I'm the Brizz man.
Yeah,
Just do it."
yeah. And so you went into surgery, just fighting all those negative thoughts and not letting anybody impose on you. This is important for our audience because what I teach people is you have got to, for your survival every day, just in normal times, let alone something as intense as that, control your thoughts.
Right.
Or you can give yourself a heart attack or anything, right? A headache, a stomach
Right.
ache, whatever. And you just pushed it out. So, what's the last thing you remember as you went into the surgery?
I remember getting wheeled in, telling him just do it, and then that was last thing I could really remember. Once he gave me anesthesia, I always try to fight it. Like I'm like, all right, I'm not going to go to sleep, and all of a sudden I'm out. You can't put me out, and all of a sudden, boom.
You're gone. And when do you remember wakening?
Okay, so when I woke up, this is crazy too. So I wake up, they pull the tube out of my throat, and they give me this thing to breathe into, and they go, breathe as hard, breathe out as much as you can. I breathe out. They measure it, and I breathe out 2,500 like cc's. And they're like, "What?" They're like, "You're not supposed to be able to do more than 500." They start calling in all the doctors. They couldn't believe it. They're like, "How did he just do that?" They go, "Do it again," and I do it again. They couldn't believe it. So I'm breathing out as much as I could breathe, and they next day like they want to get me up walking like the next day, whatever it is, and they're like, "We're gonna bring over a walker. We're going to like try to walk around like once with a walker." I'm like, I don't want a walker. I'm gonna just walk around on my own. But they make me take a walker, and I start doing laps around with the thing, and I can't even believe it.
Yeah,
Like you're supposed to be like walking once, and I'm trying to go around as many times as I can.
yeah,
And they're like, "You're gonna be the poster child. We're gonna get you out of here like quicker than anybody." But then certain things happen with medications. I had some complications, and things went down a little bit from there. But I'm gonna blame it on one of my doctors for not doing things right,
yeah.
and
And
things got
amazingly, you lived through it anyway.
right. I always will. I'm the Brizz man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So when you're talking about being on the breathing device, the first memory that you have is being in the intensive care unit and you were on life support with intubation?
Right, because they when they you come out, you a breathing tube, obviously,
Right.
they keep you under for a certain amount of time.
Right. And so for you to have that be your first memory and then wanting to know, can we extubate you? You've got to pass certain criteria and you're exceeding what the criteria is. So they extubate you and then get you up and you're just off and going. You just
Right.
can't wait to get out there. I love that part of you. It speaks volumes. And so you were in the hospital, and I just was fascinated and also entertained, like laughing, as you were telling me that you started walking through the hospital, no walker, going with an IV, going to different floors, going to the nursery, seeing the babies, wandering wherever to explore and to add, I think, some spice to the life of the hospital.
Oh, I was. I was even telling the doctors, I'm like, because I'm on the floor with all other heart transplant patients,
Yeah,
and they're all laying in bed, and I'm like, how are they ever going to get better?
yeah,
I'm like, why don't they get up? I'm like, what are they doing?
yeah,
They're never going to get better.
yeah,
They got to get up. I'm
yeah.
like, get up.
Get up, get up. You know what, Brian? I agree with you 100% because what happens is people sort of fall into what it is their assignment is, and you refuse to do that. So now, all these years later, what happened that you found out, and how long has this been? Now, I'm asking you questions. You and I have been on the journey together. I've been with you through this with your wife, Gina, and Mello, the dog, and um, the appointments and the journey of this. So this has been going on for several months. And what was it that started happening that got you? I mean, I know you've got regular visits and appointments, and you've got your team in Boca Raton as well up in Tampa. But tell the story about how it's come about that you needed additional care and you're going to have an additional two transplants.
So what happened is I exercise every day. Right? You're supposed to exercise every day and do certain things.
Yeah.
Never break that. So all of a sudden, things started happening where I'm like, man, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm like what's happening to me? So I finally went to my doctor. I said, listen, I was just trying to water my lawn, and I had to like struggle just to get to my backyard to sit down. I'm like, I think I feel like I'm gonna freaking die. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So he decided to do like a left heart catheterization. And when I went in there, they're like, oh my God, your arteries are like shrunk like 80%. And they had to put stents in. And I developed something called CAV, which can happen when this only happens to transplant patients when your arteries like narrow, like uncontrollably. And it happened to me. And that's when this all started happening. And that was back in February, the first round. And then they thought they might be able to control it by medication. And then in August, I started feeling like that again. And they went back in again. And they're like, oh boy, they shrunk back over the stents. And now more arteries are clogged. And they're like, this is no good. It's uncontrolled. We can't even control it. The only way to fix it is a retransplant. That's where I'm at right now.
So what's really interesting is that the heart that you've got is
It's
good,
fine.
but the arteries have been shrinking
Affected.
and occluding again. So did they put in 3 or 5 stents?
I got now, first they put in three, then another two.
Hmm.
And then they try to balloon open the other ones with the other three. And it's just uncontrolled. I can't control it.
Yeah. And what's interesting about this, and you and I have talked about this, it's like if the heart is good, why can't they replace the arteries or do something for the arteries? And there's really no explanation that we have for any of this.
They can't do it.
Yeah, and so it's just where technology is at. So I remember when you and I had talked about this, that you never wanted to go through this again. And yet here you are, and I haven't heard you say one thing about hesitation or anything other than let's just get it done. Let's go. Let's get it done
Right.
again. Yeah.
I had no choice. So what am I gonna do? Just got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That attitude, I want our audience to understand that is called your chi. In Chinese medicine, that is your life energy. And you've got more chi than anybody I think I've ever met before. It's just unstoppable. And I don't know where Eugene came up with Brizz, but I mean, Brizz fits you. It's like buzz, buzz on through and make it all happen. So when you get a heart transplant, one of the things that's a challenge is for any transplant patient is the numerous medications that you're on. So you're on how many medications all these years, every single day?
About 20.
Yeah, and it's
Maybe a
a
little more.
routine every single day. Get it right. Don't miss a beat. And the implication is they have to make sure that you're on enough immunosuppressants so that you don't have an immune system that attacks the heart that you're now wearing,
Correct.
but you have to stay healthy enough that you can fight anything that comes towards you. So it's this delicate balance.
Right. I get
And
blood
it's
tested every few weeks. Like every like 3 or 4 weeks, I get blood tested and they check the levels of the immunosuppressants and they adjust them if they need to be adjusted. So
And where do your kidneys come into play? Because we're talking about a heart transplant and now a kidney transplant as well. So what is it with the kidneys in the midst of this that happened?
so the heart transplant meds, the immunosuppressants, they can affect your kidneys. So they've affected them where if I would just be keeping this heart, I wouldn't need a kidney transplant. I'm pretty stable where I'm at, but I'm always in like, stage three, stage four kidney failure, but it's pretty stable. I don't need dialysis or anything like that.
Hmm.
But since I'm getting a heart transplant, when you get a second heart transplant,
Yeah.
they give you a kidney at the same time. It helps the new heart not reject. So they're gonna give me, and then it'll be a better kidney now. So they're gonna give me both at the same time.
And the incredible part of this is that they have the technology to be able to do that.
Right,
And they'll come from the same person because they need to
right. So
for
what
the
they tell me
match.
what happens is they put the heart in first. They let my heart stabilize for about 8 hours or so, and then they take me back in again and then put the kidney in.
Yeah.
the kidney stays in ice or whatever they have to do with it. Keep it
Right.
keep it alive.
Yeah,
And then
chill. Yeah.
kill it.
So it's been fascinating for me to be working with you and to be hearing the circumstances, the stress, and how you deal with it as you are balancing. I mean, you know more about transplants and the medications and the implications of the medications and what needs to be adjusted and how and how to take the diuretics so that you don't get into danger, but you're able to offload water fluids and and the delicate balance is really just that, and it's daily for you, year after year. It's
I could
just,
almost be a doctor. I could definitely almost be a doctor.
well, you've got sort of the
In
surgical cap
certain,
on there.
in certain areas, I could pretty much.
Yeah, and you can talk intelligently with your medical team because you know what you're talking about. You pay such close attention.
I do.
So as we're walking into this now, um, I remember your reaction when you and Gina found out because we were talking while you were there, hearing the news of, okay, we need a transplant, not just the heart, but also the kidney. And initially, it's like a slam. But what I noticed about you is that it went from holy crap to okay, like that.
It's just getting a lot more years. Gonna be a
Yeah,
lot more years now.
yeah. And you've got a wife who you're madly in love with, and you have a son and a daughter, and your son just had with his wife a baby girl,
Mhm.
and you're jacked up about that. And so when you're talking about a lot more years, you got a lot of verve there to have it all happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, and a daughter who's going to be getting married, and all of this is blossoming around you. So the motivation is super high. So that's the other thing I want our listeners to pay attention to. Whether you're living your life solo or you're living your life in the midst of a family or friends or whatever, look for what are the things that you love and have such passion for that keep you so motivated and inspired because you are. All the way to your guitar. I mean, you were jamming on Saturday, right?
I jammed on Saturday and I jammed quite good.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. And you and Gina go to concerts all the time, and you wear a mask appropriately, and you've got a device to protect you. Talk about that device you wear around your neck, please.
So I have a device I wear that actually pretty much kills viruses and stuff like that anywhere around me. So
Yeah,
protects me from getting like COVID and the flu, and I kind of wear it everywhere I go.
that's awesome. And you just refuse to settle down. I know initially when we started working together, I had the audacity to say ridiculous things to you, like, don't you think you should stay home and rest? Like, what are you talking about? I might as well have been speaking in German. It was a completely foreign language to you. And then what I learned was, and I started putting this together, part of what we do in the Institute, um, in the topic of wellness and well-being is going all the way back to Hippocrates. One of the things that he said is your body wants to heal itself. It's a natural, and we're built to be able to heal ourselves. We know intuitively a lot of things that can be done. And then comes along Albert Einstein, and he's echoing a lot of what Hippocrates said. And he's also saying, one day, all of medicine will be about frequency, not pharmaceuticals. And when you're talking to me about how much you love hard rock and roll and the blues and all the things that you engage in, you play and you listen, and the concerts that you go to, you are immersed in frequency medicine, by the way.
Yeah, music saves me.
There you go. And so I want people to know how important and essential that is. And you're already planning what your music is, your music source for when you're in the hospital, whenever you go to the hospital. And that too is really important and essential. So, Brian, what is the schedule that is unfolding right now? What's happening next and when?
On November 11th, I'm going for a right heart catheterization
Okay.
that probably measures the pressures inside my heart. I think that's what that does. Then I see my doctor, and then after that, it goes to the committee, and then I'll be on the list. And then after that, I'll probably get that left heart cath, and that's when I'll get admitted into the hospital and probably wait for the transplant.
Yeah. So they've cleared you already, and it's a really interesting, fascinating process to get cleared. You went through, oh my gosh, how many pages of documentation? You shared them with me. Of
Yes,
you got to go through all this, and here's your appointments. Some are in person, some are virtual. These interviews, these blood tests, these physical tests, pulmonary functions. What were all the things that you went through, and how many days of that was there?
there were days where I spent in the hospital the whole day. You got to go through blood tests, CAT scans, ultrasounds. They pretty much check every part of your body just to make sure you're not sick anywhere else and make sure that your body can handle going through a transplant.
Mm-hmm.
They check every part of you.
Yeah, they sure do. And by the way, they do this. They need somebody like me to help them with their scheduling because they bring you in early in the morning. You can't eat anything.
I
And then
know,
they keep you for a
crazy,
long period of time. You're supposed to keep your energy up, but you can't eat in between any of
crazy.
the things that are going on. It's kind of not outrageous, isn't it?
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
One
So,
day they took 35 vials of blood, 35 vials of blood, and then I had to go for ultrasounds without any food.
oh my gosh, that's outrageous. I can't imagine that.
It's like most people would pass out. They'd be like, I
Yeah.
can't even stand up. I'm like,
Oh my gosh. For health reasons, I had uh, 9 vials of blood taken several years ago by a physician who wanted to look at my biosphere, and make sure I was in good gut health. And I remember sitting in his office and they're taking all this blood, and I said, I think I'm going to pass out. And so they gave me some juice and they gave me some sort of, I don't know, sweets to eat. And I said, this is insane. I mean, I don't know if I want to throw up, pass out, or run away.
it's
And so to go 3 times more, 4 times more than that is unfathomable for me.
crazy.
The Brizz man got through it.
This man always gets through it.
There you go. I hope everybody's making note of the character that I'm interviewing here because this is a fascinating conversation. So your birthday actually is tomorrow, November
But
4th.
I'm officially become an old man.
Yeah, 65.
65. I'm
Yeah.
officially,
Woohoo. Welcome to the club.
I'm officially a senior citizen. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
there you go. There you go. Well, you're wearing it well. You're doing it great. And the thing is, you look healthy. You've got pink cheeks, you got color, you got energy, you're up and moving, you're doing what you need to do.
Feel like I got baggy eyes. That's well,
And you've also, yesterday and the day before, you put up your Christmas decorations, Christmas lights.
I was doing that. Yes,
Yeah,
I got to get it done before I go into the hospital.
yeah,
Otherwise, I can get done.
yeah. The way that you do that to take care of not just yourself, but your wife, your dog, your neighbors, you invite participants into your life. And your neighbors, you live in a great neighborhood. They know what's going on with you. Everybody has offered their concern and their support and their endorsement. And if we can do anything, and we'll check on Gina and Mello in the house, and don't worry.
Yes,
That's got to feel awesome, Brian.
it is good.
Yeah, it really is good. So tomorrow you're going to celebrate your birthday, but you actually started over the weekend with your raucous friend Eugene
Hmm.
and Gina
Hmm.
and anybody else at the dinner?
No, just us.
Okay. And what did you do for dinner?
Had a nice 3-pound lobster.
I have I have photographic proof. It's huge. And you devoured the whole thing.
Of course,
With rich butter.
with nice butter. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. As though it's like a fondue.
it
Yeah.
was.
But
It was
no
excellent.
salt because you're careful on
No
the
salt.
salt.
No salt.
Yeah. And then Gina also had a 3 pound lobster, but how much of it did she get?
She had a two. She had a 2 pound lobster, and she
Okay.
only ate like half of it and gave me the other half. So I had maybe 4 pounds of lobster.
And did you bring home any leftovers?
No,
Yeah, God, I can't believe it. So you started the celebration then, and what are you going to do tomorrow?
I think I'm gonna go to Sal's Italian restaurant tomorrow.
Okay. It just you and Gina?
Just me and Gina.
Okay. And you'll have some wonderful, delightful dinner there. You're known there because you've been going there for years.
Yes, we're known there.
So what do you think you're going to have for dinner tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that answer. So, okay, so you had made clear to your physicians, look, I really want to move forward and get all this done, but I got a birthday, a significant birthday coming up on the 4th. Can we not interrupt my birthday? And they were like, let's cooperate with this guy, you know?
Mhm.
He's a good customer. He's back for a second procedure.
He's coming. It's not round two.
Yeah, right, round two. So the 11th is actually uh next
A week away.
Tuesday.
Mhm.
Okay. And so they then are going to look at the results of that you don't know yet when they'll do the left calf.
No, so they're gonna do that. They're going through my neck. So they're going through my neck. And the same day, even if they're going through my neck, I get finished with that. I probably rest for like an hour. I get up. I go to clinic to see my Dr. Barron, and then I'll discuss it with him there. What when it'll be that I go into the hospital, maybe
But they're going to do the left calf also.
not that day.
Okay. So the conversation will be about the results of the right calf and when to do the left calf and when to put you in the hospital.
Right.
Okay.
I'll be going home on the 11th. I won't be staying.
Okay. All right. So I know that you were eager to be able to fly to visit your son, to be able to see him and the baby and his wife, but there were those of us who were sort of quietly championing the idea that your physicians would get you to feel like it's worth it to wait, to not have you be in danger of any germs or any stress of the flight.
Right. And now it seems like it's definitely the better thing because of all the shit going on. You know, I don't want to talk politics on because we know who's watching this, but
Right. Yeah, we don't want to walk into a danger zone, no matter what side of the fence you're on. We don't want anybody walking into a danger zone. And it kind of doesn't seem to matter what side of the fence you're on. If you appear, you're a target. So we
right.
certainly don't need that for you. So, um, my impression of what you're doing in this interim is you're just proceeding forward. You're living life.
Yeah.
You're not slowing down. You're not sitting around. You're just keeping it going,
I'm
keeping
working
it
about
alive.
everything like I normally do.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely don't let things get to me.
No, you don't. Not anything.
If I feel tired, I mean, I'll stop for a little while and rest, but I'll get back up on my horse and get going again.
Where do you keep that horse?
I don't know. He's underneath me at all times.
I love that. Brian, how did you evolve into this persona?
I've been me ever since I was born. I've always been me.
Yeah, a force to be reckoned with.
I was always a rebel.
Okay, a
No
force
excuses.
of nature to be reckoned with. And I think New York is the perfect backdrop for the character development that is you.
It's funny. Even when I was a kid, they told me you can't do that. I'll be like, oh, yes, I can. Tell me no, I say yes.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I
Do
get
the
it.
opposite.
So Any particular requests of our audience, of the people who are dialing in terms of anything that's running through your mind?
I would tell an audience that if you whatever's going through your mind, you say you can't do it, don't say that. You gotta think opposite. Always think opposite.
Absolutely.
Like,
100%.
you ever see the Seinfeld episode where George goes, "I'm gonna do opposite." You ever see
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah.
That's the way you need to think. Always do opposite.
Right, right. I'm not having tuna on toast.
Right. Remember that one? That's the way you need to think.
Absolutely. People make it so difficult, and it's not. It's just absolutely, you own this. And it
Yes.
comes in a nice hard shell to protect it. So protect your thoughts and
If
drive
I
where
get a
you
second
want them
heart
to go.
transplant, I mean, people think it's hard. They go, like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a new knee." Well, think about it if you got to get a new heart twice.
Yeah,
It's a big difference.
absolutely. Absolutely. Big major ordeal. So one of the things that I had shared with you and Gina is that very early on in our coming together, I'm a very faith-filled person, uh, religious, but now I'm not a maniac. I consider myself a reasonableist when it comes to my faith, but unshakable faith. And I started putting prayer groups together in St. Louis at various parishes that I'm involved with, in Chicago, same, in New York at the most famous parish there, uh, at the most famous parish in Paris, France, and and at the Vatican. I mean, there's all these wonderful places. And then there's prayer groups that I belong to that pray for all different kinds of reasons. And it's really interesting because the reason I do that is because, again, what we do in our mind is powerful. And when you collect a bunch of minds and ask people to put their hands together as they are thinking in their mind and go into prayer, I think the energy is unbelievable. And science actually has demonstrated that the energy that we put out here into the universe, into the world, is such an influence. You're a living example of it. And I encourage you and cheer you on to keep doing what you're doing. And I know I don't need to because you've already got it.
I am the Brisbane. Brismania is here for forever.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is this has been recorded. I'm gonna put it up on social media and include our YouTube channels there. And we'll send it out to people so that they can watch and see, and we'll keep documenting the journey so
Okay.
that people can really learn from you. And maybe we'll even pop in on you and do a surprise, won't be much of a surprise, but a surprise birthday uh, recording and wishing you a happy 65th.
Okay. And we can, and next, maybe get me in the hospital the next round.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Absolutely. We can do whatever we want because
You can get
you're
me
the
while I'm
recipient.
waiting, and you get me while I'm after I get it, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep dialing in. Thank you, Brian, so much for your time.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Brian and I are going to remain a minute, but I'm going to cut you off from the recording and tell you that I hope that you have enjoyed this conversation. I adore Brian and his lovely wife, Gina. They're really special to me. And if they're not already special to you, I invite you to let them be because they're good energy and good people. So, on that note, here goes the recording and peace out.